What are you guys doing in my kitchen? You're here to figure out how I make the magic happen. Little stove action right there, my fridge, chopping area. I make it all happen right in here. It isn't that hard. You can do it too. The first step to making the magic happen is figuring out what your protein's going to be. It's the first step. And I call that what's on sale. Why do I call it that? Well, I'll tell you. Right before I leave work, pretty much every day, I'll pop out onto the website for one of the local grocery stores like Harris Teeter. You can use whatever you want. City Market, King Soopers, Safeway, doesn't matter. Kroger's. Hey, I know a lot of grocery stores. Anyway, I'll look up on their website which protein's on sale. They'll have fish on sale, they'll have steak on sale, they'll have something, right? And I kind of pan through all that, and whatever trips my trigger is the thing I pick. And for this particular exercise, salmon was on sale, so we will have some salmon. So step 2, once we know our protein, you gotta surround it with something. You gotta find a recipe, right? So again, before I leave work, now that I know that salmon's on sale, I'm gonna go hit a couple of websites that I like a lot and find a recipe that trips my trigger. Let's go try that. I've got 3 of them lined up right here. Epicurious.com, super good. Love that spot. Really well written recipes, easy to follow, especially for people like me who don't know what they're doing. Foodnetwork.com, same kind of deal. And then one of my very favorites, allrecipes.com. That's a really good one. I'm published. I've got about 5 recipes that they published for me out there, so yeah. Anyway, let's take a look. I'm going to go find a salmon recipe. Let's see what we can. This one is one of the ones that I put out there that they didn't publish, but it's in my favorites. And it's called Southern Barbecue Cedar Plank Salmon. And frankly, I didn't invent this recipe. I sort of stole it from a jazz bar in Nashville and recreated it. So it is my recipe because they didn't really tell me how to do it. But anyway, this is what we're going to make. And it's going to be fantastic. So step 3, now that we know our protein, we know the recipe we want, we need to find a cool shopping list app. And I've got one handy right here. It's called Shop. And I'm going to make a list of all the different ingredients that I need to get. Most of them are probably fresh stuff, right? Because I've got oil and spices. I got all the basics in here. So I'm just going to get some salmon and the junk that goes with it. And so, hey, there's my list. And now we're going to go to the grocery store. Come on, let's go. Oh, hey. Oh, good, you're still here. Just got back from Harris Teeter. Got a whole bunch of groceries there. And I printed out the recipe. I don't usually do that, but, you know, for you guys, we'll do just about anything. What we got right here is the Southern Barbecue Cedar Plank Salmon. And I'm going to ad lib because I'm not going to grill and I'm not going to use a cedar plank because I never soaked one and I don't actually have one today. No big deal. We'll use a cast iron and make it that way. Tastes about the same. So you got to be flexible with what you're doing. But I've kind of read through this whole thing. I know exactly what's going on in the recipe. I got the ingredients all laid out. And the key to doing this really well is to prep everything in advance. And everybody always says that, but there's truth to it. Because there's timing in the recipe. So if you have to stop and now go cut an onion up because you didn't do that in advance, your timing's wrong. So cut everything in advance. Unjar everything in advance. Get your cup of milk or cream or whatever it is that you're doing. Get that out. Be ready to go and make magic happen. So there are 3 main components to this Southern barbecued salmon that we're about to make. The barbecue sauce is homemade, and that's mostly the stuff you're seeing here. That's going to become the barbecue sauce. There's this cornbread, Zatarain's. That's really good. It's actually a little harder than Jiffy, right? But that's okay. I'll show you how to do it. And then, of course, the salmon, which I think I mentioned earlier. We're not going to cedar plank barbecue the thing, which that sounds really good, but I don't have that stuff. So we're going to do it in a cast iron. So let's start with this. I'm going to prep all this stuff, and we'll get it ready to go. So, to make this barbecue sauce from scratch, pretty good stuff. You need some sugar, you need some apple cider vinegar, garlic, onions, that's a jalapeno, not going to use the seeds, some parsley, some steak rub, some chili flakes, bay leaf, cracked peppercorns, and a little bit of tomato paste. I'm going to prep all this stuff, and get it lined up for you, and we'll be right back. All right, so this barbecue sauce that we're about to make is so simple to do. I've cut all my ingredients up like we talked about in the last segment, so I've got everything ready to go. There's not a ton of timing with this one. I'm going to put the shallots, and I'm going to put the jalapenos in there, and I'm going to just stir them around and soften them up, maybe 2-3 minutes tops, something like that. I'm going to reach across the camera and grab a spoon, sorry. After that, the rest of the stuff just goes in, all at the same time. I've got a little bit of garlic. I'll actually give that about 30 seconds on its own so that it can flour. But then I'll put in the spices that we put together. There's peppercorns and chili peppers and basil and steak rub in there. And then the sugar, the apple cider vinegar, and the parsley. That's it. Oh, tomato paste right there. So stop talking, start cooking. That's my motto. And I'm sticking to it. So there goes the shallots. Here comes the jalapenos. You know, jalapenos actually lose a lot of their heat when you start cooking them, but leave a really wonderful flavor in the food. Love, love, love cooking with them. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes and we'll dump the rest of this stuff in. Alright, so we have now sauteed the jalapenos and the shallots down nicely. So I'm going to, just for a couple of seconds, I'm going to toss in this garlic and let it go. Probably take about maybe 30 seconds for it to give off that wonderful garlic aroma, that flowering. You don't want to cook it too much, you don't want to burn it. I'm just going to let that sit for a sec. And the rest of this is just going to pile in no particular order. Pardon? Oh, there it is. So yeah, I'm going to start by putting some salt, some coolness in there. That's the apple cider vinegar. So it'll stop that simmering, searing from happening on the jalapenos and shallots. A little bit of sugar. Actually, it's a lot of sugar. All those wonderful spices. Thank God you can edit a video. Put that around in there a little bit. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I'm totally winging that. Can't hurt. There's maybe a little bit more. And some parsley. There's the parsley, and that's going in. That's it. Stir this baby around. Let me show you what it looks like. Oh God, that smells so good already. So there it is. And I'm just going to bring that to a simmer, and I'm going to let it do that for, I don't know, about 20 minutes. And then I'll let it cool back down a little bit. And that's all there is to it. Simple, easy peasy. Okay, so, Zatarain's cornbread. I've never made it before, but I read the directions. It's like 3 steps. Pour all the junk together, spin it around a little bit with one of these whiskey things. Put it into the cupcake pan and put it in the oven at 375. What could be easier than that? So there's the cornbread mix going in. Pretty simple. So far. Some milk. That's whole milk because I don't like messing around if I'm going to do something. And some sharp cheddar cheese. And around that goes just until it's, oops, forgot the egg. Gotta have an egg. Okay, now that all goes around just till it's moistened. You probably can't see that, but you don't want it to get too worked up. Just about like that. Looks like batter. So, let's pour that into the pan, and we'll be right back. So, whoops, there it is. I don't know if you can see that. That's the batter in the pan. You can see I probably overfilled them because I'm not good at baking. That's okay. You got to eat your mistakes sometimes. This is 375. Putting it in there for about 20 minutes. I'm actually going to do something called bake and hold. And there it is. 20 minutes. See you in a sec. So now the final part of this is actually doing the salmon. Beautiful wild caught Alaskan salmon. Harris Teeter every time. Some andouille sausage, a little bit of corn that I'm going to cut off the husk. Well, off the cob. Yeah. Then I'm going to do a little bit of green onion, and these are little shrimp. diced tomatoes. Get this all. Okay, so there's 2 more steps to this thing. I'm going to make the bed on which the salmon will go, which is a mixture of andouille and green onions and corn and some diced tomatoes, a little bit of cream, and some shrimp. That goes in sort of last because you don't want to overcook it. We'll get that going, and then we're going to do the salmon in a cast iron, and that'll work out real nice as well. So I've got this pan pretty hot right now, medium high. Don't want to mess around too much. And there goes the andouille right on in. And I don't have anything to stir it with. So we reach across the camera. Perfect. This will take a couple of minutes, and then we'll put the rest of the stuff in sequentially, basically a couple of minutes on the corn and the green onions, then toss in the tomatoes, let that simmer for, I don't know, not even 5 minutes, just get it hot, and then we'll throw the shrimp in, and that'll be done, and we'll cast iron the salmon, which takes only about maybe 6 or 8 minutes. Okay, so the muffins turned out pretty good, look good, right? Salmon's ready to go, and we can zoom in on that right there. That is the base layer for the salmon, cooking down. I'm going to cook about half of that moisture out of there so it's thickened up. And that'll happen while we're doing the salmon. It'll work out perfectly. Perfect timing. Timing is everything. Give that a quick stir. Get a little extra virgin olive oil in here. No, pan's already real hot. I'll let it sit there for, I don't know, 2-3 minutes at least. So salmon's pretty simple in a cast iron. By the way, that's one of the best cured cast irons I've ever seen in my life. I think we've had this thing for 10 years, and it's, man, my favorite cooking utensil. So I'm going to put it flesh side down and skin side down after that. So we'll go down for about 3 minutes on the first side, and then we'll flip it over and go about 4 more minutes. So let's try that. Always have the grease going away from you, not towards you when you're laying things down, otherwise it will splash you. Unfortunately, I know that to be a fact. Alright, so in about 8 minutes, we're going to start putting these on plates, doing some plating. And that's it. We're going to plate this stuff. Salmon right here, hopefully you can see that. Super pretty. One of them got a little bit overdone, but not terrible. Cornbread's good. Some crispy onions. I'm going to be right back when I get the base. Oops, I'm trying to go out. Holy hell. Okay. Got that right there. Use my fish spatula to grab one of these. Place it right over the top of it. Now we need some barbecue sauce. Over the top of that, and a muffin, and we call that barbecue southern salmon. And that's how, whoa, wait, hold her, my God. You know, it's all about presentation. Gotta have a couple of these little crispy onions on the top. And now we're done. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Oh, by the way, this cost probably less than 25 bucks to make, because the salmon was on sale for $10. What's on sale?